back to affirmations. I'm hoping all is well. Wishing everyone mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. And hope you all are staying warm. Okay. And hoping you all had a great week this week. Okay. And again, if it wasn't a good week, what's one thing you can do in order to make next week go smoother? Okay. All right. Got our little fire again. We'll see how long it lasts. Looks like it's doing pretty good. I guess it's not too out of control. It's coming out the top, y'all. We're gonna see how it do. Let's see. So for those of you that are new, first of all, I want to thank my subscribers and thank those of you who are returning, as well as those of you who are new. Welcome. Again, each week we always speak from the self-therapy card decks. These are normally a deck that I recommend to clients that I work with who want to continue to reach counseling goals after counseling. And if you want to do some self-growth, it's something for you to check out. You can get these on Amazon. Eventually, they will be in my store. Okay. And also, too, encouraging us to get this particular book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing by Dr. Joy DeGury. You can get this on Amazon as well. I will be carrying this in my store at some point. We always hear about post-traumatic stress disorder, but we've never talked about post-traumatic slave syndrome. We're still suffering from this, from the effects of slavery. And on this channel, as you know, we talk about positive affirmations, but we also talk about how a lot of the behaviors that we've kind of carried from trauma from slavery and how it affects us today. Okay. So we do want to start looking at that. Okay. So that is a book that I do recommend. Let's see. And with that, I'm going to get started with our saying, death and life and the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Have you been feeding yourself fresh or rotten fruit? I hope it's fresh, always wanting to mind what we speak, as well as the self-talk that we do with ourselves, as well as discussions that we also speak on other people as well. If information is not true, sometimes we'll find that can come back on us in some negative way. So we also want to, nothing wrong with processing. It is good to be able to vent, to understand, to process a thing, but everything is about motive. If the motive is vicious, or if it's trying to be cruel or tear someone down, then a lot of times those things can come back on us. So we want to be mindful of that as well, okay? All right, with that, we are going to get the stones, okay, guys? And I'll close my eyes and I will pick the stones so we'll know which cards we're going to speak about today, okay? So let's see. What do we have? What do we have? All right. We got the Bumblebee Jasper. We get this one quite a bit. This is about action. And it wants us to do something. So let's see what it's speaking about. What is it that they want us to do this week? Okay. Let's see. Y'all hear those birds chirping? Okay, that popped out. We'll take that one. How about that? Let's see what this is talking about. Studies show that regularly taking forest baths or park baths, also known as a walk in the woods or in the park, lowers our stress hormone levels. Over the course of the next month, schedule regular forest or park walks into your life and see how it makes you feel. We got this one before, guys. For those of you who are new, we get some of the same cards quite a bit. And I think it's, wanting to remind us that it is important to get out in nature and take walks to kind of clear our mind and get some fresh air, and trying to put that, in our regular schedule, breaking our routine. But yeah, so put down in the comment sections for those of you who walk, if that's something that you do, or for those of you who don't walk, something to think about. Find a location that you feel comfortable. I know sometimes it's scary kind of going out, but, being able to kind of be at least identifying a place that kind of feels safe for you to walk. But, very important to be able to get out in nature and look around. Sometimes we forget um, the amazement of the Most High and His creations. We get so bogged down with our lives, looking at all the things that He's created that's living. You look at trees, we don't think of them as living, but they give us oxygen. They're living, and just all the nature and how things have an order. And especially in the fall, we see the leaves falling and taking note of that each season, everything is timed and in an order. And sometimes we feel like our life is out of order, but it reminds us that everything has a season. Even our lives have a season and a rhythm. Okay. So very important. Okay. Let's see. All right. We're going to pull another one. Let's see what we're going to get. Okay. We got the green malachite. And what's interesting about this, we've been getting this health and diet one quite a bit, guys. This is the season where a lot of people will be getting off track with eating, right? Or thinking about changing diet, right? When really we should be, hopefully being in balance all year long. But yeah. And I tell you, food and comfort, and how food connects us to certain memories and loved ones. And, we've talked about this, how, a baby's first experiences with, receiving food from the mother, and, that being sometimes in life, depending on how stressful it gets, one of the few things we can kind of depend on as far as to bring ourselves comfort. And so trying to find that balance of not overdoing it, I know I can relate to that. I love a snack and I love a great comforting meal, right? Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is split it down the middle, pick the one from the left. And here we go. Let's see what it's saying. What are some alternative medicines that I've been following or meaning to try, such as, oh, look at this. They gave me a word, child, and I'm not familiar with. Let's see if I can get it. Naturopathy. All right, naturopathy. I think that's it. If not, correct me in the comments. Acupuncture, something called Reiki. What is my view on these and how can they help my issues? Ooh, so let's look these up, guys. Naturopathy, I think I'm pronouncing it correct. If not, forgive me. Acupuncture, I've heard of that. And Reiki. And what this is, a lot of this has to do with Eastern type of healing modalities. But what's interesting is what you'll find. I like the scripture, there's nothing new under the sun. And when I think about the cradle of civilization, being Africa and all groups being birthed from that, and all original people in all lands being African, and then, through, wars and conquerings and things, groups change in appearance over time. It's amazing that a lot of times we think these things aren't, they're foreign to us, but really all of these things are of the Most High. He left, they talk about how, the Bible talks about how the herbs and plants are for the healing. But, my belief is that there are also other books that, possibly have been removed, that kind of discuss other types of things that he has here for us that's for our healing as well. But sometimes over time, when you look at groups, as we're always looking at things through the eyes of slavery, when a group overtakes another group, what tends to happen is they will a lot of times destroy certain books, certain information. They will rewrite information. Sometimes will take credit for a thing to where a group as the years pass may not even realize that it originated maybe from them. Okay, so let's look into that and see how what are some of the benefits of those. Okay, and put down in the comment section if you have tried some of these. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, so we are going to do our affirmation. Okay. And I've been using these lately. I really like these. It has a little book with it where you can kind of read, and it goes a lot more into detail. And so I really like these, okay? So let's just see. Okay. So let's see what we can get. If we can get one to kind of pop out. Okay. Okay, this one's sticking in my hand. I'm thinking this is the one. Oh, look at this one. Don't our people know about this? Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. When you talk about our people and the level of adversity that we have struggled, it has caused us to be very strong, even though that's not discussed. And we are a lot of times portrayed in the media a certain way, or a lot of times the negative type stereotypes or what they focus on. For every, this is another thing I want us to start understanding. There's an opposite to everything. So if adversity also has caused us to a lot of times suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome that we've learned about today, because I want y'all to look into that book, as well as allowed us to have a certain dysfunctional behaviors that we are acting out in everyday life, especially in our relationships. The opposite of that is, well, what else do you get with that? You also learn how to be very good at being able to accept challenges and learning how to move past obstacle, almost like a video game. So in a lot of ways, we have a lot of strengths with knowing how to look at a situation because we've had so many challenges and see another way around it. And that's how we've survived so far. So it has caused us to be quite a genius type people, to where we're able to survive in almost any circumstance. Okay, so that's the positive. But let's see what it's talking about regarding adversity. And let's see what we're talking about here. Okay, let's see. I'll hold the card up. Let's see. No one ever said life was going to be easy. And boy, I tell you, we got tons of spiritual and songs about that, don't we? Obstacles are presented to us so that we can overcome them. One of the things me and my sister, we always talk about, we've been sent here for two purposes: to learn certain spiritual lessons and to return to sender. We're here to learn lessons, okay, as well as to either choose to assist others by being a positive light, or to be an obstacle for someone to teach them lessons through darkness, okay? Believe that you will, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And as a people, we've always had to believe in ourselves, and we've definitely have created and survived and many things because of us having to believe in ourselves. Okay, confidence comes to those who have succeeded in conquering adversity. So even though sometimes we will struggle with low self-esteem, okay, which is sometimes feeling with inferiority. And again, don't forget our opposites. If we struggle with feeling inferior, our historical oppressors are going to struggle. What's the opposite of inferiority? Superiority. So that's something they're going to be struggling with. Okay, and that's their work to figure out. Because again, as people who have been a victim of a thing in the counseling community, it is never a time when a victim is to try to fix or heal that of someone that has been abusive to them, okay? Because you have to focus on your own healing. But confidence comes to those who have succeeded in conquering adversity. And adversity is an opportunity for you to reach out to your family. Yes, and we've learned how to do that. Boy, you talk about how, again, we would be sold off to different plantations and we have to take each other in and find our own groups. We're really good at that. We're able to kind of meet a stranger and be able to have them join a family and make them feel at home, okay? And we've also learned how to be able to go places and find a sense of home and find people we connect with. You are not alone when you're in challenge. If you need help, others are waiting to assist you. A lot of times you have to just ask or you have to look for it. The test may have come into your life to teach you to receive rather than to give. And sometimes that's difficult for us that are used to being the givers to receive and to ask for help. Okay. So I'm going to leave you all with that. I want to thank you all so much for joining me again. It looks like our fire went out just in time. I'm going to leave us with this saying: a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are a snare of his soul. You all be safe, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.